first release of the Bowl Championship Series poll. It's always interesting to tune in on the upper half of that poll and try and identify out of our three partner conferences, Big Ten, SEC, and ACC, what is the likelihood of sending two teams up? As you know, that'll impact our selection. Clearly right now, the Southeastern Conference, with three of their four ranked teams occupying top 10 spots, looks like an odds-on bet that two will be sent up. The Big Ten and ACC is another story. I think we're going to want to follow Boise State, who right now has a very manageable schedule the rest of the way and should remain unbeaten currently in the top four of the polls, and TCU with two huge games upcoming, BYU and Utah, remaining on their schedule. If they win those, this could be the first year of the BCS poll that two non-automatic qualifying conference teams move up and take the slots. If that happened, that would mean only one slot remains for either potentially the ACC or the Big Ten to fill, but not all three.
They're a little focused on basketball, but I think their football team played a heck of a game on Saturday night. Freshman quarterback, 6'4", 220-pound kid, played a whale of a game. So I don't know what that does to our game. The Auburn fans before the game all kept asking, if we finish second in the West, will we come to the Capital One Bowl game? But I think they need a big upset for anything like that to happen.
Focus in on the Big Ten and Capital One Bowl and Champ Sports Bowl selections. It's interesting to monitor the conference. Iowa taking the lead right now, undefeated, ranked in the top 10 in the BCS polls and undefeated in conference play. But a host of teams there at either one or two losses in conference play, with everybody yet to go on their schedule, have a chance to contend for the Big Ten title.
Anyway, we also had the opportunity to meet with Tom Schott, who's the sports information director for Purdue, and on the Ohio State side, met with Gene Smith and Shelley Poe. Gene Smith is the athletic director and Shelley Poe the sports information director. The Purdue fans were, they were happy to have us there.
Which bowl there, Mr. Lane?
This would be the Capital One Bowl and Champ Sports Bowl. You know, you've been there.
I've been to both of those.
Yes, and you had a good time, I take it?
Tremendous time.
That would be it. But we have hope, right?
We always have hope. We're going to rebound. We're not down for the count yet.
Hang on to the football. We'll win some games.
Yeah.
As far as the game was concerned, it was a 5-1 team that looked like a 1-5 team, and vice versa. Purdue, managed the game very well. They did the things, and according to Tim's report of the post-game session, they did the things that they'd done all along, but were successful.
You look at the other side of the matchup in the Champ Sports Bowl, the ACC. A little bit more than midway into the season, and the Coastal is in play big time. Virginia currently undefeated in conference play, but has to play all of the other frontrunners from here on out. You take a look at Miami, Georgia Tech, and Virginia Tech now, for the most part, have beaten each other. We're really going to have to focus in on conference tiebreaker rules, I think, this year especially. When you look at the Atlantic, Clemson and Boston College and Wake Forest, Clemson has head-to-head victories over both Boston College and Wake, having been beaten by the other two, really is going to need some help. It's going to be an interesting stretch run, although Boston College has not had to and does not play Georgia Tech and Miami, two of the conference's highest-rated teams. On the other side of the matchup for our Capital One Bowl, the Southeastern Conference has four teams ranked in the initial release of the BCS poll, three of those in the top 10. Certainly as it stands today, it looks like a certainty that the Southeastern Conference will send two teams to the BCS. As you look at the East, Florida has a stranglehold for the most part, undefeated, 4-0 in conference play and 6-0 overall, as the West is going to be an interesting run. Alabama with a nice start to the season, also undefeated currently and 4-0 in conference play, but LSU and Auburn. LSU with only one conference loss, Auburn with two, but yet all three of these teams have to play each other down the stretch. They all have an opportunity to win the West. We're going to have to keep our eyes on that, as we traditionally expect to have from the East or the West a 10-win team from the SEC, and I expect this year to be no different.